All right, getting ready for a transport engineer interview.
Yeah.
Well, we're diving deep into RoleCatcher's resources to give you a boost.
It's a really cool field, you know?
Oh.
It's way more than just roads and bridges. Transport engineers, they're designing whole systems.
Whole system.
Canals, railways, airports, even futuristic stuff like Hyperloop, you know?
That's pretty cool. So the interview guide, it's got a ton of questions, like that one about traffic modeling software. It seems simple,
Right.
but how can you really stand out there?
It's not just about listing the software, right? Think about the projects where you used it.
Okay.
Did you analyze a crazy intersection with like a microsimulation, or maybe you built a model, you know, a macroscopic one, to see how a new highway affects traffic?
That makes sense. So like always tie it back to a specific project.
Exactly, and try to quantify your impact. Don't just say, I improved traffic flow.
Right.
I say, I used Visum and it cut travel time by 15%, congestion down by 20%.
Wow, numbers, always good.
Interviewers love that. And talk about the tough parts, too. Like, what if your data was messed up or the model had limitations? Show you can solve problems.
That's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in, right?
Exactly. You type in your answer, and it gives you feedback. It might say, hey, elaborate on this, or try quantifying it differently.
Like a little coach in your pocket.
Exactly. And you can tailor it for different jobs.
Oh, how so?
Let's say the job's all about sustainability. You can tweak your answer to focus on modeling environmental impact.
Smart. So you're hitting those keywords they're looking for.
Right?
Okay. Now here's a senior level question they love to ask.
Yeah.
How do you stay current with the industry?
Ooh, that's a good one. This is where you show your passion, your commitment to learning. It's not just about reading journals.
Right.
Name specific ones, like the Journal of Transportation Engineering or Transportation Research Record.
Get specific, like with a recent article that really stood out.
Yeah. Maybe something about connected vehicles or sustainable aviation fuels, you know, those cutting-edge things.
Shows you're really paying attention.
Enthusiasm is key. And talk about professional groups you're in. Like ITE, the Institute of Transportation Engineers, or TRB, the Transportation Research Board, conferences, webinars.
All those.
All those, yeah.
That reminds me, the career guide mentions certifications, like the PE license.
The professional engineer license.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's often required for senior roles. It shows you're an expert, ethical, the whole package.
And any other certifications like PTOE or RSP, those probably help too.
Oh, for sure. Certified Professional Traffic Operations Engineer, Road Safety Professional, those give you an edge.
To show you're serious about your career.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the questions. How do you assess environmental impact? That's a big one, right?
Huge. Sustainability is key in transportation now.
So you got to know the regulations, but...
But it's more than that. Show you're proactive, that you care about the environment. Talk about a project where you went above and beyond.
Give me an example.
Okay, imagine designing a highway.
Yeah.
But you include wildlife crossings to protect habitats, or noise barriers for nearby communities.
It's thinking ahead.
Right. You're not just following the rules, you're actually trying to make a difference.
And again, RoleCatcher can help you tailor your answer.
Exactly. It'll highlight your green experience, especially if the company's all about sustainability.
Makes sense. Okay, last one for now. This one can be tricky. How do you prioritize transportation projects?
Yes. Strategic thinking time.
Limited resources, tough choices.
Exactly. You need to balance safety, costs, the environment, community needs, and the overall goals.
It's a lot to juggle. So how do you approach it?
Well, you could mention a framework, like a cost-benefit analysis, or a multi-criteria decision-making model.
Those sound fancy.
They are. Or tell a story, a time you had to make a tough call between projects.
Like choosing one over another.
Yeah, maybe one was crucial for safety, but the budget was tight. Show them you can handle those tough situations.
And RoleCatcher's AI can analyze that answer.
Absolutely. It'll highlight your leadership, make sure you're hitting the right notes for the job.
It's like a strategy session built into the app.
Exactly. It really is.
Okay, we've hit some tough ones. But what about teamwork? You know, collaboration. That question. Describe your experience working with diverse teams.
That's a good one. That's all about showing you can work with all kinds of people, different skills, different perspectives.
Because transportation projects, they're not solo missions.
Right. You've got urban planners, architects, construction crews, community groups. Everyone's involved.
So how do you handle those different viewpoints? Make sure everyone's on the same page.
Exactly. Think of a project, maybe a light rail extension.
Okay.
You've got residents worried about noise, and engineers focused on the technical stuff. How do you bridge that gap?
That's a tough one. How did you approach that? Did you like organize meetings?
Yeah, meetings are key. Or maybe you use some visuals to help everyone see the different perspectives. The point is to show them you're a collaborator.
Not just someone who's like, I gotta work with these people.
Right, exactly.
It's about people, connecting people and communities.
Speaking of connecting, let's talk project management. The interview guide has a question about staying on time and on budget.
That's nitty-gritty. Planning, scheduling, all that fun stuff.
Exactly. Show them you're organized, but go deeper. What tools do you use?
Like what?
Have you used the critical path method?
Correct.
Critical path method, it helps you find the tasks that really impact the timeline. Or maybe you're a Gantt chart master.
Oh yeah, Gantt charts. Those are good. Speaking of timelines, you know what's interesting?
What's that?
The Channel Tunnel, between England and France.
Uh-huh.
They finished it 6 months early and under budget.
Wow, that's impressive.
Talk about project management.
Right. And you can use RoleCatcher's AI here too.
Really? How so?
Let's say you have great examples, but you struggle to explain them concisely. The AI can help you polish your answer.
So like an editor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Making sure you sound clear and confident.
Okay, let's shift gears. Conflict resolution. How do you handle that with stakeholders?
That's always a fun one. In transportation, conflicts are bound to happen. You've got so many different people involved.
So how do you stay calm, listen to everyone, and find solutions?
Right. It's not about winning, it's about finding a compromise that works for everyone.
Because stakeholders can be anyone, right?
Yeah, from government officials to the people living next door to the project.
So give me an example, like a road widening project.
Okay, yeah. Imagine businesses are worried about traffic during construction. What do you do?
What would you do?
Well, you could propose different traffic management strategies, maybe organize community meetings to keep everyone in the loop.
To get their feedback too.
Exactly. You want to show them you're proactive and you care about their concerns.
And of course, RoleCatcher can help you with this answer too.
Oh, absolutely. The AI can analyze your response and suggest ways to highlight your strengths based on what the specific job requires.
Like having a custom playbook, huh?
It really is.
Okay, last question for this section. Accessibility. Designing a transportation system for people with disabilities.
This one is so important. It shows you understand inclusivity, that everyone deserves access to transportation.
It's more than just ramps, right?
Right. It's about the whole system. Is it easy and safe to use for everyone, no matter their physical abilities?
So, like, what kind of things have you done to go beyond the minimum requirements?
Well, imagine designing a bus stop with tactile paving for people who are visually impaired.
Oh, I see.
Or maybe you added audio announcements to a light rail system.
So everyone knows what stop is coming up.
Exactly. Or maybe you helped create a wayfinding system that's easy for people with cognitive disabilities to understand.
Those are great examples. It shows you're really thinking about everyone.
Right. And now let's shift gears a bit. How do you make sure transportation projects are sustainable, environmentally friendly?
That's a big one these days. Everyone's talking about sustainability.
Exactly. You need to show them you understand it's not just about buzzwords. You need to demonstrate that you get the principles of sustainable transportation.
And how you've applied them in your work.
Exactly. Think about projects where you incorporated innovative solutions. Did you design a highway with permeable pavement to reduce runoff?
Permeable pavement.
Yeah, it helps with stormwater management. Or maybe you added green roofs to a bus depot.
Green roofs, I love those. They look cool and they help the environment.
Exactly. They help with the urban heat island effect. Or maybe you were involved in a project that promoted walking and biking.
Like creating bike lanes.
Exactly. Those are all tangible examples of your commitment to environmentally responsible design.
And RoleCatcher can help here too.
Oh, for sure. The AI can analyze your answer and suggest ways to highlight your knowledge of sustainable transportation. It can even recommend specific examples from your experience that would resonate with the company's goals.
So it's doing research for you, basically.
In a way, yes. It's like a personalized research assistant helping you tailor your answers to the company you're interviewing with. And speaking of interesting facts...
Oh, I love those. Give me one.
Did you know that the world's first fully autonomous, driverless electric bus was launched in Singapore back in 2019?
No way. That's amazing. I didn't know that.
It just goes to show how fast this field is evolving. Things are changing all the time.
So it's important to stay informed and be adaptable. And even if you haven't worked directly with these cutting-edge technologies, you can still talk about them in an interview.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can discuss your understanding of their potential impact and how you would approach incorporating them into future projects.
It's all about being a lifelong learner. Okay, let's tackle another common interview question. Can you explain traffic flow theory and how it applies to design?
Yes. The theoretical foundations of transportation engineering. It's all about understanding how traffic behaves. How do cars move on a road? How do they interact at intersections?
It sounds complicated.
It can be, but it's fascinating stuff. There are key concepts like Greenshield's model, the fundamental diagram, and queuing theory. These models help us understand the relationship between traffic flow, density, and speed.
And how do you actually use those theories in your work?
Well, for example, you might use Greenshield's model to optimize the speed limit on a highway. Or you could apply queuing theory to improve traffic flow at a toll booth plaza.
So you're using these theories to make real-world improvements.
Exactly. Now let's have some fun with a more creative question. If you had an unlimited budget, what innovative transportation project would you develop for our city?
Ooh, the dream project. That's always a fun one.
It is. It's your chance to let your imagination run wild. But remember, it's not just about coming up with a crazy idea. You need to show that you understand the city's transportation challenges and can envision practical solutions.
So give me an example. What would your dream project be?
Well, maybe I'd propose a network of elevated autonomous pods. Imagine little pods zipping people across the city above the traffic.
That sounds futuristic, like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it? It would reduce congestion and emissions. Or maybe I'd envision a hyperloop system connecting major cities.
That would revolutionize travel. No more long car rides or airport delays.
Exactly. The key is to think big, be bold, and show your passion for innovation. And don't forget about sustainability. How would your project minimize its environmental impact?
That's a great point. Okay, let's shift gears again. This one can be tough. Can you describe your biggest failure in a transportation project?
The failure question. Everyone dreads this one.
It can be intimidating, but it's actually a chance to show self-awareness.
Right. And resilience, the ability to learn from your mistakes.
Because everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, of course. What matters is how you handle them. Choose an example where you faced a setback, but focus on what you learned from it. How did it make you a better engineer?
So, maybe you underestimated the complexity of a project and it ran over budget?
Yeah, that's a good example. You could explain how you improved your planning and risk assessment skills as a result of that experience. Or maybe you encountered unexpected technical challenges during construction.
That happens all the time.
Oh, all the time.
Sure.
You could describe how you collaborated with your team to find creative solutions and minimize the impact of the setback.
So it's about showing that you can adapt and overcome challenges.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher's AI can help you frame this answer in a positive light.
Really? How so?
It can analyze your response and suggest ways to highlight your growth and resilience. It's like having a personal PR agent, helping you spin a potential negative into a positive.
That's pretty cool. Okay, next question. Can you describe a time when you had to lead a team through a challenging situation?
Leadership. This is where you show them you can motivate and inspire others, even when things get tough.
So think of a time when you had to step up as a leader.
Exactly. Maybe you were managing a team with clashing personalities, or you had to deal with a major setback, like a budget cut or a natural disaster.
Those are tough situations.
They are. But you need to show how you handled them. How did you communicate? How did you delegate tasks? How did you resolve conflicts?
And most importantly, how did you keep your team focused on the goal?
Right. Those details demonstrate your leadership skills. Now, let's wrap up this section with a question that looks to the future. What are the biggest challenges facing the transportation industry today?
Ooh, the big picture question. This one really makes you think.
It does. You need to be aware of the current state of the industry and where it's headed. Think about challenges like climate change, urbanization, and the need for more sustainable transportation.
Those are huge issues.
They are. And you need to connect them to your specific area of expertise. How can you contribute to finding solutions? Are you passionate about reducing traffic congestion or promoting public transit and active transportation?
Those are all important goals.
They are. And sharing your insights shows that you're engaged with the industry and committed to shaping its future.
And RoleCatcher can help here too.
Absolutely. The AI can help you research industry trends and challenges so your answers are relevant and up to date.
It's like having a personal think tank. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today. Let's take a moment to recap.
Sure. We've discussed a wide range of interview questions, from technical to behavioral. We've given you strategies and insights to craft compelling answers.
We've talked about the importance of showcasing your technical expertise, problem-solving skills, leadership, and your commitment to sustainability.
And we've emphasized the value of RoleCatcher's AI in tailoring your answers, refining your responses, and researching the industry.
Now, before we wrap up completely, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
Remember, a job interview isn't just about answering questions correctly.
It's about more than that.
It is. It's about showing your passion for transportation engineering.
Your excitement for the field.
Exactly. Your desire to make a positive impact. And your eagerness to contribute to the future of the industry. Let your enthusiasm shine through. Be yourself. Believe in yourself.
Great advice. I like that.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher is here to support you every step of the way. Now go out there and ace that interview. So we've covered interview questions, but what about actual career paths?
Right. Where can this all lead you?
The career guide shows a ton of options.
It does. You could specialize in traffic engineering, making roads safer and more efficient.
Traffic engineering, okay.
Or you might go into transportation planning.
What's that like?
Thinking about long-term stuff, public transit, regional networks, that sort of thing.
I see. And what about research?
Oh, research is huge. You could work in academia or for a government agency.
Doing what?
Developing new tech, new models, pushing the boundaries.
That's pretty cool. It's like always changing, right?
Exactly. Never a dull moment.
You know that dream project question, that kind of thinking, it's good for more than just interviews, right?
Oh, absolutely. It helps you figure out what really excites you.
Yeah, what you're passionate about.
Exactly. Let's say you're all about sustainability.
Okay.
Look for companies focused on green infrastructure, alternative fuels, that sort of thing.
So tailor your job search.
Exactly. Or maybe you're fascinated by autonomous vehicles.
Self-driving cars, all that.
Right. Find companies leading the way in that area.
Use your interests as a guide, basically.
Precisely.
And networking, that's always important, right?
Huge. Go to industry events, join those professional organizations we talked about, connect with people on LinkedIn.
Get your name out there.
Exactly. You never know what opportunities might come up.
And RoleCatcher can even help with career stuff.
It can. Research career paths, find companies that fit your values, even find job postings.
Wow, it does it all.
It's your career sidekick.
I like that. So as you get ready for that interview, remember, it's more than just a job.
It's the start of something bigger.
Exactly. It's a chance to make a real impact on how we move, how we connect.
And that's a pretty amazing thing to be a part of.
You've got the knowledge, the strategies, the tools. Now go out there and make your mark. Good luck.